So today's video is highly anticipated. I've been wanting to make this video for so long, and it's everything I want you guys to know about applying to Worldpackers. If you don't know who I am, my name is Em, and I've worked in 13 different hostels. I've used Worldpackers several different times. I am someone that is a big advocate for it. I know people have their mixed opinions about Worldpackers and different experiences, but I'm here to tell you how to apply in a way that you're looking for safe jobs that you're going to enjoy and have fun and learn from, but also understanding that Worldpackers and applying to different jobs, there is a system and there is a way to have a better chance at getting the job as well. And so I'm going to tell you all of my tips and the things that I do in the application process. Obviously everyone's different, like these aren't the rules, you know, it's just kind of like something that I do and I have been successful with. I'd like to make other videos about the jobs that I've done and like all of my crazy experiences, but this is just going to be about the application process and then we'll go from there. I even have my computer out because I am serious about this. Like I don't know, there's something about the application process. I'm going to kind of run through all my different tips, and I recommend maybe writing them down or just taking them into consideration when you're getting ready to apply for your Worldpackers job. So let's begin. For those of you who want a basic level understanding of what Worldpackers is, it's a work exchange website that is giving you the space to look at thousands of different hostels, farms, eco spaces, different places around the world that will offer you free accommodation, free food, free activities, and free other things. So the reason why I'm so passionate about this is because if you are someone looking to budget travel or someone that is just wanting a different experience than just going on vacation, this is the perfect step into the travel community, into meeting people, into opening your mind and contributing. First thing I want you to think about is, what type of jobs do you like to do? This is really important because I've worked again at 13 different hostels. I've had many different jobs: party promoter, tour guide, reception, cleaning, and I've learned that there's specific jobs that I like and specific jobs that I don't like. I'm just gonna say this right here: I hate housekeeping. I'm not a housekeeper. Some people are okay with cleaning and changing beds. I'm also just referring to hostels because that's the only type of Worldpackers experiences that I've done. I'm just telling you guys about my experience with hostels. I'm just not a cleaner. I'm not a cleaner. I have to accept it in my heart, you know. But at the same time, I'm a very social person. I love to lead people and to meet people and to be in that social setting. So that's why I thrive more in the party promoter, tour guide, reception jobs. First thing that I want you to write down is thinking about, what type of jobs do I like to do? What am I good at? Am I more introverted? Am I someone who likes to be around people? So think about that before going into applying. The next thing that I want you to think about is, how many hours are you going to be working? How many hours? Because some people are okay with 30 plus hours. For me, I'm not, and that's just a personal preference. I do 25 or less. So I can even put the filter, and I'll put some screenshots on the screen. I put the filter for less than 25 hours. Again, that's personal preference, but it just really depends on you and how many hours you're okay with. The final tip before even applying is go into Hostel World or Booking.com or wherever you can find this hostel and read the reviews of guests who have stayed there. This is huge for me. It's huge because you want to make sure that people are enjoying their experience at this property, right? And that's just from a guest perspective. We're not even thinking about volunteering yet. It's just like, how is this place? After I do that and there's a bunch of green lights and I'm like, okay, let me apply. I also have to think about the timing I'm applying, right? So sometimes, I'm not gonna lie guys, some people make it very specific. There's really no rules to this. I've applied for hostels and heard back that day. I've also applied to hostels 2 months in advance and got that job as well. So there's no rules when it comes to how early or how late you're applying. Just, you know, when you find a hostel and you're like, okay, this one, you know, it has a lot of green lights, this one's good, then I would apply. I wouldn't wait too long, obviously. Like, hostels want to know like as soon as possible, but you know, don't worry about that too much. And I keep saying hostels, but let's be honest, it's for, you know, any Worldpackers experience. I get so many messages on my Instagram about your profile, right? How should you set it up? What should you put on there? Do you need prior experience? No, you do not need prior experience. I mean, I started volunteering at a hostel and I told them, I was like, I've never done this before. And that's pretty standard. I mean, think about it. Like, everyone starts from like, you know, their own experience. I would list on your profile prior jobs that you've had. And, you know, if you have reception experience, if you have customer service experience, give people an idea of the skills that you have and what your interests are as well. I like to make my profile pretty personable. It's not about making it all like professional, whatever. It's just kind of showing your personality and making sure that it reflects you, the authentic you. I'm just taking a look at my profile, and something I love about Worldpackers too is you can put, you know, if you speak other languages, you can put your skills, you can make it pretty organized, you can list your social media as well. Another thing, this is just personally for me, I don't have a video on my profile. And a lot of people ask, like, do I need a video? No. Like, I've worked at 13 hostels, and like none of them have specifically required that. I know some do, but don't worry too much about that. Okay, so your profile is set up. You've taken a look at the hostel, everything looks good, and now it's time to apply. Many of these experiences are different, like they have different questions listed. I want you to be a little bit more straight to the point, right? Because you can go on and on, you can write as much as you want, and it is good to have a lot of information on there, but at the same time, they don't want to take a million hours trying to read through all these details that you've included, right? I talk about myself. I even list just in like little dashes or bullet points like my prior experiences just to make it fast, easy to read, easy for them to glance at. At hostels, I've also been the individual going through Worldpackers applications and choosing different volunteers. It's interesting looking back that I was doing that, but also when I was going through all these different people, I was realizing like, yeah, people can kind of run on a little bit. So just make it simple, quick to the point, include enough information. So find that balance. So another thing I want you to do is apply to multiple experiences at once. If you're going to Madrid, for example, I would apply to 3 or 4 different hostels in Madrid. I've literally done that before. The way that this works, it makes your chances higher at hearing back from a place if you're kind of more in a time crunch or if you're specifically wanting to work in that city. I've applied to like 6 or 7 hostels at one time. And this is another key aspect. You can copy and paste. I watched a video, I think I watched a video on TikTok or someone saying like, don't copy and paste, whatever. Actually do that. Actually do that because why would you rewrite what you like spent time thinking about and writing? I mean, the only thing about that is just make sure like if you want to change something specific for that hostel or whatever, like be mindful of that. But I recommend copy and pasting because it's still you. It's still your experience. And another thing, don't use AI. Like just kind of, again, like I like to make it personable. I think that's why I've had so many jobs in the past is like I want to reflect my personality and show that it's me. So don't use AI, just kind of speak from the heart and like trust me, that's gonna speak volumes amongst the other applications for sure. Here is another tip that is really going to help you stand out amongst the other applications when you're applying to Worldpackers jobs. Make it very clear to the hostel that you're not just wanting to go for a free stay. I have volunteered at 13 hostels, and the number one thing that is an issue amongst volunteers, people will go volunteer, and the only reason that they're there is for a free stay or free meals or free activities or whatever. Yes, with Worldpackers, a huge benefit is you are not spending money to stay there, and you are actually, you know, getting a full experience and not having to pay the full price. But at the same time, you have to make it very clear in this application that that's not the reason that you're going. You should be reflecting that you're open-minded, that you're ready to work, that, you know, you're excited about the experience, and that it's not just about the free bed. That's something that bothers a lot of hostels, and I think as a volunteer as well, amongst others, that's bothered me as well, because I'm like, we still are there to do a job, and you're getting a free stay because you're doing a job there, you know? An example of how I do this is I will literally say this word for word. At your hostel, I will provide my best efforts in blank, blank, blank. So for example, night shifts, socializing, making guests feel welcome, and more. I think I'd be a great fit. This reflects to the hostel that you're willing to work, that you're open-minded, and that you're ready to experience that, not just for a free bed. So after you send out your applications and you're feeling good, and let's just throw out there the possibility that no one's responding to your application. I get so many messages about this, people saying like, oh, I haven't heard back, whatever. Okay, that sometimes happens, and that just means to redirect, okay? We can problem solve. Let's say you applied to 4 hostels in Madrid and you're not hearing back from any. So you have a few different options. You could look at other cities. If you're willing to be flexible and possibly look at Barcelona or like a different city, I would definitely try that. Another important detail, if you find a hostel that really stands out to you, like you're like, this is my vibe, like I'm liking the look of this, I would actually reach out over email, possibly. Found one in Greece that I really wanted to volunteer at, and I applied and I wasn't hearing back, and then I ended up emailing twice and then I got the job. I recommend that as well. That's always a different option. At the end of the day, Worldpackers just makes it easier for us, right? I believe that it makes it easier for the travelers because we get to look at the job and how many hours you're working and what the experience is going to be like. Back in the day, volunteering in hostels still existed. Like, this was still a thing, but the problem was you would just show up and be like, hey, do you need anyone to clean the rooms, like, you know, for a free stay? And the hostels would say yes, right? But you don't know what you're getting yourself into because it could be, you know, too many hours or the experience is not going to be great. Who knows? So besides the mixed opinions about Worldpackers, I am really grateful because it has made my travel experience easier with doing work exchange. I get a lot of questions about safety in Worldpackers, and I can tell you this, the number one way that I make sure an experience is going to be safe and that I'm being mindful about it is by, on the application, asking for a phone call or a FaceTime or something. And the reason I do this is because I want to speak to the person that I'm going to go work for and feel out the vibe and stuff. And obviously, like, as travelers, we all need to be on guard and mindful and aware. So it's not like you're ensuring like everything's perfect, but at the same time, this is a really key detail for me, and it has really helped me because I get to talk to the person, see what their vibe is, just making sure like this is included and stuff like that as well. So that has really helped me. And for every job, I do make sure to have a phone call or some sort of FaceTime. I used to use Worldpackers because I did not have money to be traveling. Now that I make money online and I work online and I provide for myself, Worldpackers isn't as necessary, but at the same time, there's something within me that loves it. You know, I get to enter a space at a hostel or wherever and contribute. It's a huge step in affording travel for sure, because you're not thinking about it. You're not paying for accommodation. Sometimes we get meals, activities and stuff. And so that has really, really helped me. If you're thinking about doing it or wanting to do it, I do have a discount code, MSoloTravel. The membership for Worldpackers is, I think, $40 for a year. And to me, that's an amazing deal. $40 is pretty cheap, actually, for what you're getting. So I highly recommend checking that out. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any other video recommendations or questions about Worldpackers, traveling, inner growth, anything, please leave them down below. Love you.